Hi, Shalom, Mike. First and foremost, let it give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Rakha, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect. Let's teach his word in all true faith and sincerity. And today, I just want to title this lesson, The Miracles versus the MOTB, because this is how the Lord, Yahweh Shai, is going to preserve his elect, man. You know, and we seeing that this is pretty much the miracles. This is the time that it will make the most sense. You know, this devil and his military is at its height. You know, his military might, this man got mechanical dogs, you know, and things of that nature. He got super soldiers and shit. So, you know, that's just for an example. The miracles will make more sense in this time, man. You know, but when that same thing is mandated, you know, Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to preserve his elect, man. Lord, when we're part of that number, man, that's our hope, you know, because eventually it will be a mandate. This thing will be mandated, and this is the only way you're going to continue and abide in this society. You know, your everyday routine will pretty much be broken up, and the way back to it is going to be presented. You know, the gateway to it is going to be by the way of that Quran. So, matter of fact, let's start out with that in the book of Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16, and it reads, and he calls of all. See, so that word calls of, it goes back to a decree, man. You know, it goes back to a decree. So he gonna put it on paper, man. This is gonna be commanded to you. Matter of fact, when you read the scriptures, Romans chapter 15 and verse 4, matter of fact, let's get that real quick and I get an example. So this is the book of Romans chapter 15 in verse 4. It reads, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So these things that are recorded within the scriptures, was about to get, Daniel the 3rd chapter, it wasn't just meant to read at night for you know, just like a bedtime story. You know, these are actual events that took place on the planet Earth, and the Lord pretty much, you know, took those men through these certain things for us to consider in this time, because this is gonna be the perfection of the works of the Lord, man. You know, the perfect will. This is everything is finna be summed up in this lifetime, pretty much, man. We're coming to the climax of life, when the return of our Lord Yahweh Shai. So these things that was written, also it tells you that in the book of Psalms 81, concerning Joseph, and it was meant for a testimony, man. That whole thing that played out with Joseph is for a testimony, is for us to consider in this time. So let's get this in the Daniel chapter 3, and I just get to the point. I start at verse 3. It says, then the princes, the governors, and the captains, and the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image. And we seeing that today with this beast system. You know, everybody's on one accord. This, you know, this digital way. You know, the great reset. Everybody's on par. You know, to this image. It says that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up, and they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. It says, then and Herod cried aloud, to you it is commanded, O people in languages. See, so it was given so that was the heads coming together, and then you have a mediator to relay the message. So that's why you have these different news stations. The rhetoric of Esau. Because it's going to be a law, but it's going to have to be someone to relay that message to you, and that's why you seeing the build up to every this devil bringing forth that thing, man. You know. So it says, to you it is commanded, men. This is a decree. This is an order that it says that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. See? So it was a decree to bow down to Nebuchadnezzar's the image, because that was literal, with the statue. And when you hear, you had to bow down. When this time, when that decree come forth, it's going to be commanded you to bow down and take the that thing, man, to be pretty much penetrated, man. You know, it says it says when you hear the music, you should bow down. It says, and whoso falleth not down and worshipeth shall the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. See, so if you then follow this decree, the result was to be cast into the fire, man. But we can read the latter end of this story. Uh, we can read the latter end of it. Matter of fact, let me jump down because it goes into the 300 children, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and it started out by saying they accused the Jews. When you read on down, I believe that's like in verse 8. But I'm gonna jump down to just point 16. It reads, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, will not careful to answer thee in this matter. See, so pretty much Nebuchadnezzar gave him a final chance. Pretty much he was like, okay, you don't want to bow down, and who is this guy that's going to save you out of this furnace? So you see the confidence in these men in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. They were not finna hold their tongue concerning bowing down to some damn image. So it says, that's just like that woman turning down a man. It's the same thing. That's part of that's the first commandment, pretty much. Supposed to only have one power, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. So that's like with a woman, that's like the number one thing. You don't supposed to do that, man. So like I said, they wasn't too careful to come Nebuchadnezzar like that concerning bow down to another image. It says, if it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he would deliver us out of thy hand, O king. See? So that's the confidence in Yahweh Hashem Shai. Presented with death if we don't take that thing. We believe wholeheartedly. If the Lord put the spirit on us to take the death, the Lord gonna put the spirit on to take it. But hey, it said be faithful even unto death. So even to the skin of your teeth, it says the righteous gonna be scarce to save all the way up to the destruction, man. So it's gonna be, the Lord is dramatic anyway. So when this devil present that decree, the Lord's he's gonna dispatch those angels, man. He's gonna intervene in man's affairs, as the definition of divine intervention says. It says, but if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship thy golden image which thou hast set up. See, so if we have to die, Because, hey, that's for prophecies, it tells certain men is going to, die for the Lord's sake. Will the Lord put the spirit on us to take that, just such a step? You know, but it said, let it be known that we will not serve thy gods. So uh, it's going to, we hand to that point, you know, because when you taking that, you sign with the so-called white man, you pledge your allegiance, that's going to cement your alliance with this man. You just gonna give him your life. You just that's that all. But it's digital now, because the law is even prophetic. We seeing the perfection of that as well. Scripture talk about for an example, he that stealeth a man, and selleth her if he be found in his hand. Well, we seeing the perfection of that with Esau and Jacob, man. This so-called white man, which is Esau, we're gonna be found. Jacob is going to be found in the hands of this devil when our Lord return. In the results, he shall be put to death, So that's just an example. So just going back, it says, so that was, Salaki. Yep, let me continue on. Matter of fact, it says, then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was went to be heat. And that's who this devil, that's how he's gonna come down to the ones that have the testimony of Yahweh. Matter of fact, let me get some real quick for that. That's who he's gonna, because that's ultimately who is gonna come out. Yeah, he's gonna subdue these niggas, but it's gonna be a special unit. Just like how Peter, he had the 4 quaternions to, it was a high maximum security, the best of the best, So that's how he's gonna come after the ones that have the testimony of Yahweh. This is Revelation 12 and 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. And yeah, he's making war now, by the way of his laws and his legislation. See, before war happens, is put on wax first, man. This man's writing certain decrees, certain forms of legislations to justify himself coming down with great wrath. Tells you swords are in their lips. It says, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. See, the remnant. And that seed lets you know is going into this generation, man. That's the latter generation. This time right here. Which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai Mashiach. See? So, hey, this is who this man is really is fired up against. Because we're not, for this man. It tells you that we're not for his turn. And when you read that in Wisdom of Solomon in the 2nd chapter, it's the only counsel this man can come to conclusion is that let's see what's up with him. Let's see if his words be true and examine him with despitefulness and torture. And this is pretty much what Nebuchadnezzar was doing. For us to this nigga want us to denounce the Lord, man. That's why I said those that consent unto him, you just lost, man. So you might well, die with honor. Because what a dishonorable death is, dying at a gas station. You die for the name of Yahweh Shema Shai. You stood for Yahweh Shema Shai in righteousness, man. It says, so this is going back Daniel 3 in verse 20. It says, and he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army. See, so that lets you know it's going to be a certain way he's gonna come after the ones that know Yahweh shot, man. He's not just gonna bring just no regular old, you know what I mean, local cops to subdue you. You know, it's gonna be a special, you know, like going back, what was written aforetime ran for our learning. So these things gotta play out again. We're going to another example. Elisha, you know, uh, it talks about that Syrian was he pretty much sent a great host to him, the Syrian, a great Syrian host. You know, they was deep, man. But the Lord combated it by what? The miracles. He pretty much will Elisha turned invisible, man. You know, just when you read Second Kings, the 6th chapter. So it says, I'll read it again. It says, and he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into a burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, in their hats, in their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. See? It says, therefore, because the commandment was urgent and the burning and the furnace was exceeding hot, the fire slew those men that took us Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So it was that hot that even the men that bound them and threw them in the furnace, they even burned up because it was so hot. You know? It says, and these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound in the midst of the burning fire furnace. So they were still, you know, they were thrown in the midst, tied up, man. It says, then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished, and arose in haste and spake and said unto his counselors, did not we cast three men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, true, O king. He answered and said, lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt. And the form of the fourth is like the Son of the Most High. See, for you Old Testament guy, who that talking about? That's talking about Yahweh Shai, man. And as you can see how the Lord combated Nebuchadnezzar and his commandment of bowing to the image by delivering those men out of that furnace, man. So this man today, the so-called white man, is gonna do that. He's gonna compromise your food, you know, your water, your roof over your head, you know, you know, because of, you know, that's the only way you can get those things in this lifetime. You know, like I said, you couldn't. It's not like you farm, you got your own well and shit. No, you gotta wait till Publix open up or some crazy shit like that. So that's how the Lord is gonna combat that by the way of the miracles. But this is just an example of then what was running for time. It was a certain decree that compromised your that will it will you will if you didn't do it you would die. And the Lord delivered them, man. You know? So going back to Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16, it reads, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. So just going back, that it's going to be a certain decree. This man is going to mandate the Quran. You know, he's going to mandate it. So, matter of fact, it says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So that's the only way that you're going to want to be able to continue in this society. But the Lord is going to combat that because we're not going to bow down to this devil, man. Why would you? Because this is a failing system. This is not upgrade as how they present it. We gotta understand this is a base man. So everything he do and seen as better, it makes it worse, such as these phones. You know, from the first phone to the phone we have now, this brings forth more radiation and shit. Yeah, it looks more advanced and you might do more things on it, but it's killing you faster, you know? So everything this man do is not a thing of luxury, especially now this is a thing of desperation. This is a failing system. It's like him trying to count the rest of his money he got left because he ain't got it, man, you know? So this is Revelation 3 and 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. See? So keeping the words of Yahweh by smile shine, holding fast to this counsel, this truth, you know, the result. It says, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. See, so just going back to the example in the three holy children. The fourth was like unto the Son of the Most High. It was Yahweh Shai that intervened. So how much more today, you know, where they got electric guillotines. Like I said, how our bodies are made and shit, the food. It ain't like you got, like I said, a plot of land. These grocery stores and shit gonna be ransacked. It's gonna be because this devil was doing a man-made family. You got BG Bill Gates buying all the farmland, so this is really the wrath of Yahweh Hashem our shadow. Till the sword is sharpened. So this devil, he has been upgraded. That's why he have super soldiers. He have different his different night vision goggles is at his peak. His different automatic weapons, these war vehicles, all the way up to the missiles, man. But this is the wrath of the Lord, you know. So only thing we can do is hope that the Lord keep us, man. That's what it's gonna take. It says, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. So that our temptation is the hour when the thing is mandated. Because ultimately, you're going to get hungry. You're going to be thirsty. Let's say roof over your head might be compromised. You know, whatever this, you can't pay your bills. Whatever the case may be because of that correct, the Lord is going to keep us from that, though. Because that temptation, the flesh, you know. But that's why we have the precepts. It says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. See? So, this is a new world order. This is a global thing. Just going back to Daniel, the 3rd chapter as well. It talks about, that the counselors and the judges, everybody of the provinces. So they all coming together, just going that beast system, man. So matter of fact, let me get some real quick in the book of I think that's the book of Job. This is the book of Job, chapter 5, verse 19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yeah, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. See? It says he shall deliver. So it's the Lord that's going to do that in these 6 troubles. Because we in it, man. We in between the 6th and the 7th trouble, man. Which we finna come into the climax of it, man. Because the step before this war is this this moment of Jacob's trouble, man. With all these said perils about to come to its perfection, these things we seeing upon the planet Earth is only going to get worse. Scripture talk about evil and only evil. But it's going to be the Lord that's going to deliver us from these things. It says, in famine, he shall redeem thee from death. See? Because that's what's going to contribute to a lot of people getting the corrupt, you know, that thing, man. Because of the lack of bread and food, man. This man's going to pretty much present rations and shit like that. I remember that nigga Banks said, with the, I think with the hurricane, but it was another one that before this one, he was like, yeah, you got to get the jab. That's the best way to over, you know. So these things gonna be set up to lure the people in, which is that's why we have the scriptures to go and read certain events that took place where men were delivered from these certain situations. You know, from famine. You know, it was the Lord. He fed 5,000. You know, fed the multitude. You know, different accounts where you go into the I think the four lepers. Yep, the four lepers. The Lord set up where they ran off an army so they can eat, man. They got the food, they got the raiment, you know, the gold and some shit like that, man. So that wasn't just written just to say, Lord, you know, you tell your little child that, you know, you know, you use it as a coloring book, a page for the coloring book. No, that was meant for us to consider because these things are going to actually take place again. And this is why, like I said, the precepts, trust in the Lord. How do we do that? We got to believe his report, man. We got to believe Yahweh Shema Shai by believing and understanding his power. It said believe that he is, you know. And that's how we do what we do, man. So this is continue on, Job 5 verse 20. It says, in famine he shall redeem thee from death, in war from the power of the sword. See? Esau. Because that's the sword. He's going to deliver us from this devil. You see that war again. What war? The war between Jacob and Esau. This is the height of it. The victor goes to Jacob. It's already written. What is we seeing it playing out now? It says, then shalt thou be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it comes. See? So the Lord is going to put a certain spirit on us during this time. Tells you wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. Yahweh Shema Shai gonna put a certain spirit on us. Because why would they have to say that? Why would they have to say that? Because it's gonna be fearful moments. It's gonna be Jacob's trouble, man. It ain't like there's gonna be a breakdown in that time. Like somebody gotta explain the famine when there's a lack of bread. No, it's gonna be up close and personal. You're gonna know, you know. So why would they have to say that? Because the Lord gonna have to put us, he gonna have to be there, man. Through, you know, the angels, you know, those ministering spirits, you know, the angels of the Lord camping around about them that fear them and deliver them, you know. But Yahweh Shai, just his name, all the way to the climax. His name, he's gonna, you know, that's what he's about. But it shows also that he has the power to kill you as well. And he's the deliverer. He's the killer too. You know, when you go into Exodus, the death, the destroyer, that was Yahweh Shai, man. You know? So Job 5 and verse 22, it says, at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. See? So what type of spirit, what type of situation you'll be in if you laughing during the time of destruction? Ain't like we up somewhere and we down looking at the city like, yeah. Look like Grand Theft Auto down there. No, we're going to be in the midst of these things. You know, that's why I said, in famine, he shall redeem thee from death. We're going to be in the midst of it, man. It's not like we're going to be looking at it from afar. You know, we're going to be actually in the midst of these things, eating a week or two without eating, you know, without eating a week, 2 weeks, whatever the case may be. But you still alive, though. Then you eat and you just forgot about those 2 weeks. You ain't even thinking about that no more. On to the next, you know what I mean? You know, you're gonna praise your how about something outside. That's how the Lord's gonna show out, man. And that's ultimately gonna increase our faith when these things take place, these certain miracles, that faith to faith, you know. Cause what else could you could not stop believing after when the Lord show you do a miracle. Yeah, you can't stop believing. Then it's just on only increase, man. Only thing on your mind is how the Lord gonna do this. I wonder how you gonna get me out of that. Whatever you gonna have some brothers gonna bring certain reports on how the Lord delivered them. That's why going back with Peter, uh Peter he had after he got delivered from the prison, he said, I know that was an angel of the Lord. He came and told the report, man. You know. So how much more in this time? The miracles make more sense in this time, man. So it says just going back. At destruction and famine thou shalt last. So what type of spirit, what type of situation the Lord would have us that we laughing at destruction and famine during it while we in it? So that means we're going to be preserved. We're going to be kept. We're going to hide in place. It says, neither shall thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. See, and so why is that saying that as well? Because these different beasts, and not just your typical lions and bears, which they are fierce animals, of course. And you'll be scared of a squirrel get up on you, because we in this modern time, so we ain't built like if a squirrel get up on you, gonna have to really get up on it, you know. But these people ain't built like that. They'll run, squirrel and spiders and shit. But the point is, it's gonna be newly created creatures as well, man. Which that's gonna be a sight to see. Which when you go into it, it tells you that when they see the sight of them, they're gonna die from the sight of them, man. When you read I believe that's Wisdom of Solomon, the 11th chapter, I believe. Wisdom of Solomon 11, 17, something like that. So, hey, that's that covenant being made once again with the beast as well. It says, "For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee." See, and thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace. That's the house of David. And thou shalt visit thy habitation, and shalt not sin. See. So, just going back, the Lord is going to keep us from these things. He's going to combat what this devil is going to bring, because he's going to do it, through deception, and he's going to force it as well. By the way, these certain laws, you can't do this without it. They might type your name up as a big X by your name, or your number, because everybody just a number to this devil. Them social security card and shit. It's a big X by your, you know what I mean? But the Lord's gonna keep us, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna wrap it up with this. The book of Psalms, chapter 37. And I start at 12. It said, the wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. See, so the devil said the wicked plotteth. So it lets you know he watching and he's seeing, man. He watching, man. So it said he naturally punished with his teeth. This devil is writing certain legislations. You got YouTube guidelines. You know, his ultimately going to come after us with his military, man. It said the Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming, and that's playing out through us as well. We looking at like this nigga and seeing he hide behind his technology. He's just a violent homo, man. And he's sick, the so-called white man. When you just look at him, you look at his reasoning, how he, see things, how his outlooks are. This is a sick man. And he violent as well, you know. So this the dude that's ruling the planet Earth, man. But the Lord is a certain day the Lord has marked to destroy him. It says, the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy. So this devil is doing this by the way of writing his laws and legislations, but it's towards the poor and needy. You got all this power, your face on the money, but you worrying about the ones that's at the bottom. You know, that lets you know this is Jacob and Esau, man. It says, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. See, so just going back, that's going to, you know, the ones that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. That's who this devil ultimately gonna come after, man. You know, because those are the upright conversations. We're not for his turn. We're not gonna bow down to this, and we're not gonna take that thing, man. Because that's what he's trying to put you in a box by saying, okay, the only way you're gonna make any moves is gonna be through him. You making him your master for life. You know, and that's how these movies, when you watch these different dystopian movies, they all got the sea help. Star Trek, all that. Anything that's in the future, 2100 and above, they got the sea help, man. You know? So that lets you know that this devil, and that's a crazy guy. That's a crazy dude, man. But that's just like Esau window shopping. That's the best he gonna get. So it says, their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. And the perfection of that is when that third world war take place. Because ultimately his creation is going to lead to his downfall. It started the fabulous 50s. This devil, when you really go into it, that what kicked off the fabulous 50s when he bond those goots after they surrendered. Which fuck them too. But the point is, him doing that, put him out there. So this is what's ultimately going to bring forth his downfall. He that rose with stone is going to return upon him. And there's always that, I know you probably, I know I watched a YouTube video, scientists killed by their own inventions. Well, this is going to be the perfection of it. That's why you think Oppenheimer was crying. And you're like, damn, nigga killed himself. Things ain't killed himself, but this devil, that's what he's ultimately finna do. His own invention is going to lead to his downfall. So that's going to be the perfection of their sword entering into their own heart. It says, bear with me. It says, a little that a righteous man have is better than the riches of many wicked. See? For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholdeth the righteous. And that's by the way of this truth. The Lord knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be ashamed in the evil time. See? Well, we're not going to be ashamed because we have held fast to the testimony of Yahweh. You know, we're because our doctrine is going to be sure. When you go into that word perplexity, to tell these people it's going to be perplexity upon the earth. And we're the only ones that's not going to be ashamed, man. No one we hold fast to the end. You know, it says, they shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine, they shall be satisfied. See, so come on. You satisfied in a time of famine, just going back to Job 5, you laughing. So that means you feasting. You know, what you going, I believe it's going to, I don't know if it's Elijah or Elisha, the fed the 100 until they all went home full with food or something to that nature, you know. But how much more in this time, man? Like I said, you gotta wait on when this to open up and shit. So it ain't like we built to, we already had form so a storehouse and shit like that, you know. You probably have some beans and shit lined up, but you know, even in that, this devil got laws on the books where he can come and take your beans now. You see what I'm saying? So how much more the miracle make more in this time, especially when this devil bring forth that thing, man. And Jacob's trouble take place. So yeah, I just hope that we're edifying. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect that teach word on true faith and sincerity. DTA, about soon, very soon.